Hey guys, David Clayton again from GuitarBreakdown.com, and today we're going to break down another Josh Smith thing. The last time about a month ago or so, I uploaded a video that broke down a lick that he did, kind of just a little improvising lick that he did on a YouTube video. And it was really well received, and some people hadn't heard of Josh Smith at the time before they watched that video, and so they really enjoyed the fact that they got a new player to kind of look at, because as they agreed, most of them... you know, he's just a smoking player. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a video response link below to that video. And I describe all about who he is, what I know about him, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to waste your time with that here. If you want to hear that kind of stuff, check it out on that video. Also, I will put a time code, well, I don't need a time code because it's just the beginning of the song, but I will put a link to where you can get his CD that this song is based off of, this little rhythm track. It's a CD called Inception, and it's called Hairflip. That's the name of the song. And I will, like I said, give a link to that, and I would highly suggest buying that because it is a smoking CD. There's like 3 or 4 tracks that have awesome, really cool rhythmic parts to it, and then there's like 5 or 6 that have great solos to it. Now, we're going to go into a lesson after this on the solo section, and I think it's really cool because the solo is pretty straightforward blues, pentatonic kind of stuff, but it throws in a few little things that sound jazzy, and there's one real fast kind of pentatonic lick that sounds a little more complicated than it is, but it's really cool stuff, and his phrasing is unbelievable. He does this thing where he kind of offsets his phrasing by like a 16th note or an 8th note, and it just pushes and pulls the way the solo goes. So it's really cool. So I look forward to doing that lesson. I hope you guys check that out. But for now, we're just going to do this rhythm section, and it's just a few parts that repeat over and over again, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in a second. Thanks. Alright guys, let's get into this lesson. I'm going to try and go through this really quickly. I'm not going to talk a lot of theory. I'm going to maybe show you a few little things as far as how I see the patterns. You could think of this, you know, based out of C sharp minor, E mixolydian. When we get into the solo, it's C sharp minor pentatonic or E major pentatonic, and the beginning of this just starts out like this. It's an open E note, low open E note, then you play the 3rd fret of the E string and slide up to the 4th fret, and that's kind of like a country thing, or it's getting there. It's going from a minor 3rd to a major 3rd. So the 3rd fret to the 4th fret. Open, 3rd, 4th on the E string. Then you play the 2nd fret and the 4th fret on the A string. So then you do double stops, which is a major 3rd interval. You basically have your 5th fret on the A string and 4th fret on the D string. And you move that up a whole step to the 7th fret on the A string and the 6th fret on the D string. So Then it does this walk down with a pedal tone for the most part. I don't know if it rings throughout the whole thing, but try. I mean, it just sounds cool if you can keep it that way. But at least for those first 3 notes. Then you can hold that and just hit these notes singularly. So what that is your pinky on the 9th fret of the E string. And then you're going to walk down with your 3rd, 2nd, and 1st finger on the B string from this 9, 8, 7 on the B string. But you're going to hit those as double stops. So you could do it alternate picking. And then you walk down chromatically again on the G string from 9, 8, 7. But this time you're not hitting the double stop, but you're keeping that pinky ringing if you can. So, and you can even, instead of picking all 3 of the first ones, you can pick the first 2 and pull off the second one. So the whole thing is. Okay, then it goes to, which is basically your first finger on the 6th fret of the D string and your 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the G string. And then you go down a half step to the 5th fret on the D string and 6th fret on the G string. So that's it. Then he kind of slaps the strings down and he picks up on this double stop, which is barring the 5th fret on the E and B string. So. Then the first time after that, so he does the whole section once, and he goes through again. But when he gets to that point, he kind of slides down, and then he plays this dominant chord, which is basically your F sharp dominant 9 chord. 2nd finger on the 9th fret of the A string, 1st finger on the 8th fret of the D string, and then you bar the 9th fret on both the G and the B string. And he just does. And then he goes right back into that riff. Then he plays that riff a bunch more times, but after he does that slide, take notice that he's really building that up, and then when he slides, he kind of really lowers down the dynamics until he gets to those double stops again. So then he does that a few more times, and then he breaks into this other dominant 9 section, and we'll get into that in a second. Thanks.